If you listen to my previous recordings, you probably could have expected that something of bigger magnitude of great importance would happen around the 11th of July. And sure enough, on the 12th of July, we had this amazing crop formation, as you can see with these three powerful symbols. And interestingly enough, on the 11th, it was Juno who changed direction to forward motion. That is the chart of that moment, and there was this powerful 19th degree of Cancer and Capricorn, not only exactly in the ascendant-descendant axis, but also the Sun and Earth just coming out of that powerful degree, which has been repeating over and over since winter solstice, as I have shown you repeatedly in some really important charts, like also the big solar eclipse of March 29th it was, which had the reverse axis, also the 19th degree, which are the 2 degrees which seem to be at the center of evolution right now. If we want to fractal it down to some simple statement, it is the 5-year-old carrying a shopping bag full of groceries. That is the symbol of the 19th degree of Capricorn, which is representing a requirement of advancing ahead of one's ability, of what we are really meant to be able to do at a certain age. So it is an accelerated growth which is required at this time in history here on this planet. And on the other side, the 19th degree of Cancer, a wonderful symbol. It is the sacred union of the marriage ceremony. It is bringing together the polar opposites to understand each other's difference and understand that it is the complementary which really is what the existence wants us to recognize and overcome all the connotations. I mean, as Shakespeare famously said, nothing is either good or bad. It's our thinking which makes it so. That is a very, very profound statement, and we are moving in this direction. We have to really look at the world from a higher perspective, as Paul Selig, channeling the guides, is quoting. Well, he is saying it, but it's the guides who say we have to go to the upper room to look at the world, rise up to the higher vision, the higher perspective of everything, and that is definitely important. So with Juno entering direct motion again, and here in the middle of Scorpio in hexagram 1, that is if we overlay the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching, which are given to us as a overlay of the zodiac in the human design systems. One human design system, always relevant links are under the video and description, you can follow up. So the human design system says this is where hexagram 1 is, which is creation, which is the creative energy. So Juno turning direct in this powerful section of the zodiac really says that yes, it is us humans coming together in that ability to work with one another in a team, to support each other. That is really the key of breakthrough at this time in history, where everything is really going to an extreme, where literally there is soon no choice anymore. Everything becomes so cemented and fixed in a certain direction and place. So we have really, it's kind of last minute, and that's exactly what my take is on this crop circle here again. So anyway, it was interesting, and this really started me on this post. on this recording, I should say. So on the internet, on Facebook, I had posted the link to this fifth crop circle of the 25 season. Actually, this is really interesting in itself. It's only 5 so far, very few, so that definitely gives each of them a very special significance. And the fifth is number 5, as we know, is a very dynamic number, and we are after all in the year 2025, which is actually a square number. 45 square is 2025. So this is a very special year number to start with. So we have this powerful combination of symbols, and 2 persons left comments under this post, and I wrote it here out. I just read it to you. There were 2 comments here below this post of mine. However, just as I had posted my reply, the little wheel, you know, on the computer, and spinning, it kept spinning, and it turned out that not just did my reply disappear, but some AI bot found it necessary to erase this post's entire comment section, likely because of some charged word or words. And one of the comments actually did contain those powerful charged words, and that was the one I was replying to. Now, before deletion, that comment said, well, I'm spelling it for you because I don't want to get in trouble. It's ISLAM-SATAN-ISLAM, and that kind of makes sense, because if you look at the symbols, this is true. This is the symbol which is used in black magic, however upside down. This is very, very important. The one which stands on 2 feet, the pentacle, is actually white magic, so it's both. But magic is involved here, and also Magenta Pixie did a little recording on this and came to the same conclusion. This is the symbol that magic has entered this realm of reality we are living in. There are things which are unexplainable, shifting. We don't know because we really have no clear memory of how they were yesterday, because things all of a sudden are in a different arrangement. Happens to us every day now in those little things. So this is the age of magic, yes, and yes, it is also the world of dark magic which is pronounced here, and then we have these 2 half moons which definitely resonate with that belief system. So let me just read you my answer, because I think it is really a sign of the universe what we have here. On some level, this crop circle undoubtedly resonates with these 2 mentioned belief systems. Maybe, and most likely, that's the case. A hint from the cosmos that it might be about time for mankind to properly assess, to seriously have a closer look at what these 2 subjects represent, what their present manifestations are. Really, to say it clearly to what's happening all over the globe in real time, to pay attention to what's happening in so many countries and places all at once. Just think of that particular religion. I mean, just read a little, or saw a little meme on Facebook, I guess, or on Telegram, which showed the percentage of white people in London going down from the 90 levels in the whatever 90s of the last century, only 35 years ago, down to about 36%. That's how few white people still live in London from 91 or something in the last decade of the 20th century to 36% in the year 2022, I guess. So you see where it's going. So what I wrote: the universe is signaling time has come to open our eyes to some real danger of cultural suicide, of entire traditions and treasures of cultural heritage being pushed to the side, overridden and finally deleted by what biology would call invasive species. That's invasive species. I mean, what do you do when you have a garden with an invasive species? You have to pull them out because they inhibit the other native plants to grow their root systems. They literally plow them over and finally disappear. So it's nature has its ways when it's out of balance, and that's definitely a aspect of being out of balance. I mean, it is, as it says, an invasive species which has been brought in for the better or the worse. It's not happened by itself. It has been done by someone or other in a way. Maybe these seeds were stuck on your boots and you traveled 4,000 miles, and then these seeds are redeployed, or as it went with many things on ships, from whole other continents, things have been coming. So that's the same thing. So the universe says it's time to start taking the necessary measures and engage in appropriate action with the intention to bring light, naturally, and love. And I mean, many of these people, actually, they have been pushed out of the countries they origin in. And I'm sure they'd love to have stayed there if there would not have been political unrest and war, even, and conflict, which all is intentionally created to make these people restless and wanting to leave, and then on the top of that promising all kinds of things which in the end will most often turn out to be empty promises. Anyway, that's a whole other story. So it is from a place of care, of bringing light and love, that this has to be remedied and healed, and every out of balance situation can be taken care of. So this crop formation gives us a series of extremely powerful and very loaded symbols, as I said. After all, and I didn't give you the whole astrological context yet. I really want to quickly do that in between, because it's quite amazing. It's not just that Juno turned direct. 2 days later, Saturn turned retrograde in the most similar configuration, just a few degrees off. It's actually substantial, the energy difference of these two charts. We will look at this in a minute. It again has to do with the 64 hexagrams. Really allows you to break down the meaning of every degree in a way more fascinating way, which I will show you in a minute. But let's just quickly go back here to read the end of what I wrote. So this clock formation gives us a series of extremely powerful and loaded symbols, which all by itself is a very strong and clear sign. Effectively, we have arrived at the center of this journey of individual and planetary rebirth, accompanied and mirrored in, and that's the wonderful thing, it's a galactic transfiguration which really happens, as we have heard from so many sources. And it is like popcorn. Everybody and everything is all of a sudden jumping up, changing shape, moving into a different phase, a different state, to disappear in the lower and reappear in the higher frequency band. So this is really an initiation which is going on, and it is happening on all levels. I mean, it's unbelievable. I told you it would be a build up towards the 20th, 21st of July. I will do another recording on that very, very shortly, because we are really getting to the heart of the matter here. So let's look at the astrology here quickly. What is the big difference between these two charts? So if you look at the hexagrams, this is hexagram 53, which changes into the next one at 20 degrees and 45 minutes. So 53 and 54. 53 is progress, steady progress, one step at a time. And it is a build up. The goose lands higher and higher up in the tree. That is kind of the image, the wild goose. And on the other side we have hexagram 54, which is the marrying maiden, which is one of the most mysterious hexagrams. It is pictured, that's the symbol, the emperor's concubine is really the one who's truly in charge of the country. So it is the feminine which is taking charge, the masculine allowing it to be so, and naturally this can really go into quite scary directions, as naturally the concubine, she does not really have the intelligence or the oversight or the education or whatever you call it to rule a country, so the decisions will be quite irrational at times and emotionally based and not really making sense. So that is kind of the pretext. However, it is a very dynamic energy, hexagram 54, and naturally being on the other side with hexagram 53 complemented, the steady progress comes out of that. That's always the wonderful thing about the oppositions. These two hexagrams, oracles, are totally complementing one another. When we allow them to be as they are, they bring each other into balance. Now, the big difference is now when Saturn enters its retrograde motion. Now the Sun, and interestingly again, this ascendant here in the Greenwich chart, is in that same hexagram and almost, yes, even the same degree. So it is both our sunrise charts. So that adds to the impact these moments, these shifts in cosmic energies have. It's like the sunrise, sunset points are the most connected, where in that sense, where earth and sky are most connected. That's what I want to say, where the celestial energies are most visibly brought down into our dimension. Yes, that's when the sun rises over the horizon or when it disappears. That's the two key moments here, the two fractals we are looking at. But this is true for every other degree, true for every other planet, but particularly with the sun rising in both these charts really shows the specialness of that shift. So Juno turning direct, yes, this is the active start of taking charge as a populace, as entities of people who work together, who understand that it needs many pillars to hold up a big roof. That is one of the symbols Juno has. That moment is the starting point, and we deal with this situation as explained with the lunar node and Nessus, by the way, here up in the 10th house right at the highest elevation. So this is really the thing we have to face. What's wrong, the pathological behaviors and pathological expressions, what's gone in the wrong direction. We have to bring in compassion and understanding, and again see that it is just the out of balance thing which causes the problems. Once we bring things back into balance, and the remedy is easy in that way, we just have to take the charge and have a little courage to do it. So Saturn is now Saturn by design is the big teacher, period. Saturn is the one who says stop, don't go further. That's the father figure who steps in and takes the child by the hand and leads it out of a potential danger, protects and takes charge, and in if necessary takes measures to bring back law and order. That's really Saturn's job. And yes, hexagram 62, smallness in excess, and on the other side hexagram 61, inner truth. Now again, these two have to be understood. Smallness in excess is the ability to see all the details and add them up in a proper sequence. It is the ability to fly high. It's actually the symbol of the bird comes in that hexagram too. It can go to very great height of perspective, of overseeing things, and it happens today. Actually, as I'm recording this, is the Mayan day 11 Men, which is the spectral eagle. Very much makes sense with this axis as such. So hexagram 62 here, 61 inner truth, that is seeing the essential thing, zoning in what really matters, diving into the core of what's going on. Interestingly here also is Bienor. Bienor is a centaur planet, and it represents freedom and sovereignty and the ability to stand in one's strength, in one's entirety, to dare to have one's voice heard. It's the freedom fighter, which is represented by Bienor. Conjunct the sun, conjunct the ascendant. I mean, things can't go wrong anymore at this point. It's all already clear. If anything, the planets, the stars, show us exactly that. Anyway, I just wanted to give you this short recording because it really excited me to see the connection, and again to see that it all started with this repetition of that 19th degree of Cancer and Capricorn, which started, as I said, with the winter solstice 2024 on December 21, 2024, when the sun was at 0 degree Capricorn. And I have this chart actually up here. I just want to bring it back. No, it's not that one. Okay, that is another sequence I have here, but I have that chart somewhere. I don't know where, but nevertheless, let's see if I find it very fast. No, it seems not. I don't have it here handy. As always, I have all these hundreds of charts open, as you can see. Anyway, that's it for now, and thank you for joining in and listening. Once more here, this is the chart we were talking about last. Let's end it on this the teacher coming in giving us the framework to take charge, go in the right direction, and be courageous and strong. That's really the message Saturn gives us here with this beautiful, we didn't even talk of the moon yet. The moon in both charts is very specially placed here with the part of fortune in Aquarius, the sign of, again, community and mutual support as the two waves in synchronicity with one another show. It's two different things which fall in line, which come to a coherence, aligned to the greater field. The moon, by the way, coming out of the conjunction here with Pluto. Yes, it's a very, very powerful energy that is now driving evolution in the right direction. And here also you have the part of fortune in conjunction with the moon in this Juno direction change 2 days earlier. And here, by the way, the moon and the part of fortune, by the way, is what wants to manifest itself naturally. It's the mirror point between sun, moon, and ascendant. And 2218, 2247, you see, if we now go 2 days ahead, that is within less than a degree of what the descendant is here and the sun. So these two charts are really intrinsically connected, and they show a progression, and that is beautifully illustrated by this powerful crop formation again. To show you one last time, it's such a sight. And if we just scroll down quickly, there's a few more nice pictures. Let me see. Yeah, that's a close-up of the beautiful pentagram. And if you see how these patterns are woven in, this is not somebody with a board at night who tramples down some wheat. This is truly a piece of art, and they appear within minutes. Sometimes people have been walking by before and after, within minutes they see all of a sudden these patterns in the fields. Most of them happen in England, so England has a very special meaning in this greater transformation we are on. And interestingly, Greenwich also is in England, where the zero meridian goes through, so there's really a deeper meaning in all of that. Yes, there's many beautiful pictures. And as I say, this was reported on the 12th of July. Yeah, beautiful. Anyway, and that is cropcircleconnector.com. I will definitely put the link in the description again. Thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure, and talk to you soon.